Hey there, Colin here. This is part 3, boiling down sap to syrup in the Almaguin Highlands. Thanks for tuning in again. So this third stage, no big surprise, boiling down. Process can be done in so many different ways, from outdoors in a fire pit, traditional style with a big pot, or I've heard people doing it on barbecues. Again, takes a lot of fuel. Certainly don't recommend indoors for a variety of reasons. Like I said, it's a lot to evaporate or remove all that water from the sap. Again, for every 40 liters of sap, you get 1 liter of maple syrup. So that's 39 liters of water that needs to be taken out of the sap. So it's a process for sure. I've got here just a sort of a do-it-yourself operation. It's an old an old barbecue here. Charcoal barbecue that just used basically as a wood stove. So many different ways to do this in terms of pots and pans. This is actually a larger square evaporator. Just has a large surface area and allows more of that sap to really heat up quickly. But again, there's so many different ways you can do this. There's no real wrong way. It's just about boiling that sap so that the water evaporates, as you can see what's happening here. So let's take a closer look. I mean, I just put this on a little while ago, about half hour and an hour, and you can see we've got a good burn going. I'll try to give you a bit of a demo here of what the sap's looking like. I mean, it looks like it's actually coming along pretty nicely. That being said, you can still see it's clearly sap. Just starting to get a rolling boil here. We'll probably do maybe a few more cut videos a bit later just to show you what it looks like over time. But also I've got my sap here collected from earlier today. I put a lot of it on already, but I'm gonna put a bit more on here. As I said before, sap is awesome in itself, so I'm certainly gonna keep a little bit here for other purposes and freeze. But let's get the rest of the sap on. Go. And again, many different ways to do this in terms of adding, continuously adding sap, warming it up. And certainly you can find so many resources online about, all the sort of different varieties of methods to do this. But in essence, like I said, what we're doing here is boiling down that sap, as the name applies. So yeah, we'll cut here and check it in a little while and see how it's doing. But fade out. All right, we'll fade back in here. So it's been about 3 hours. We've been steadily chopping and splitting wood here, adding to our homemade do-it-yourself evaporator boil down operation here. And you can see we got a nice steady boil going on here now. We started with about 20 liters and we're at now, a lot less. I'd say at least 80% boiled down now, maybe a little bit more actually. See a nice golden hue. But be a bit careful at this point. You don't want to overboil, because then you get, you go beyond maple syrup and you end up with maple sugar or maple butter even, which is delicious in its own right. But to find that magic temperature, or that temperature when you have maple syrup, it's all temperature based. So you need a thermometer to help do that. So what we're going to do at this point actually is I'm going to take it off. And I'm going to let it cool down. Beautiful there. So I'm going to give it a little taste first, because this is absolutely delicious. So it tastes way more like maple syrup now than it does maple sap, with so much of that water evaporated. But what we're going to do, I'm going to transfer it, let it cool down, transfer it back into the bucket here with the double filter system, just like what we used during the sap collection process. And yeah, gonna bring it home, probably freeze it along with all the other, sap have boiled down to this state, and we'll probably, do a finishing with a lot of it all at once inside, where it's a little more easier to get to that final stage. So yeah, that's it for now. We'll see you in stage 4 coming up soon. Thanks so much.